Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We're a little late, but we are here. It has been a while since we've both done a live. My name is Ngozi. I guess recording out of Houston, Texas.
And I'm Nana from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, all right. So today we are talking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and the controversy that has been going on. Unless you live under a rock, it has been a rough few weeks for Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne. I'm not sure if you've heard of her, but so many people have been making videos. It's just so much going on. Basically, we want to, start off just really trying to get you guys' take on it and why something like this is really important. So please like this video and share it.
And let us know where you're watching from. Let us know. I like streaming earlier because I don't have to use a ring light.
And the light still makes the quality better. It's still a little blurry. Mine looks blurry. Yours looks clearer. All right, y'all. Where y'all calling from? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. She is a liar. It's just too much. I've been trying to catch up. I have so many videos on my watch later. I was watching it all Saturday because we initially were going to go live on Sunday. Then we moved it to today. And just more stuff keeps coming out. And I'm like, I can't watch all this stuff. It's just too much.
It's the same stuff, to be honest, though.
They're just saying the same thing with different synonyms. All right, let us know where y'all watching from. Hi, Thomas White. Where you watching from?
You sent me a bunch of videos on Saturdays. I don't know which one you want me to play, but I was going to, because one of them
started was with Dr. Raquel, I believe, Martin, and I believe she is the one. She was on a podcast with, is it something Hill? Is it Lamont Hill? They were on, had a long podcast, and she was talking about the importance of the degree and how basically the field works. And I think she had low key called her out. And I think this was a lot of the conversation came in about the field of psychology, what the difference between being a therapist, being a psychiatrist, being licensed or not. And, a lot of videos mention how she doesn't take insurance. And if you're licensed, you have to take insurance, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but then I'm like, I don't know how true I think that is. I think some people just don't like, I know a lot of, even Dr. Joy Bradford, I don't believe she takes insurance. Like some therapists, based on maybe their clientele, they don't want to go back and forth to insurance companies, deal with all that billing. They only do like self-pay. They're like private. So basically a lot of the videos are saying that she's been going with this doctor title. She has released a book, and essentially they basically saying, what, is she really a doctor? So she comes out and says, she went to Argosy, which is one of the schools that a lot of people got loan forgiveness from Borrowers Defense because it closed down. And I was watching Tanika Boyd's video on Sunday about this, about how a lot of those for-profit schools are very predatory. And that's why they did, the forgiveness, because they market a dream, they market a degree. A lot of people are low income, working full time. They go to these schools, University of Phoenix, all of them, and DeVry, all these technical schools, and they think they're going to get a better job. And they get these degrees and they still can't find work, but they have hundreds and thousands of dollars of debt. So that's why a lot of those schools have been closing recently. So she said she went to Argosy. It got so bad that Argosy made a thread and said that they have all their transcripts available online.
What?
Like, available, yes. I saw that, I believe, on Saturday or Friday. So she was saying that
is it confirmed that she's lying?
I think she's lying. They just use a third party, and that is only good for 2 years. And when she went, they couldn't get the transcript, and she had, left right before she was getting big, blasey. There's no way in America you cannot get a transcript. If we were in a developing country, I would understand and say, okay, yeah, it's possible. But in America, as long as you took it, as long as you took the courses, that you can go back and get it somehow, some way. And if you really graduated, you would fight to get your transcript or to get, some type of proof that you graduated. I had to bring out for y'all, I don't speak. This was yesterday my thing. I had to bring my diploma, and show, since everyone is verifying their degrees. I'm a PhD, so I had to bring it out.
Yes, because you let them know.
Dr. Bryant, or what's her name? Cheyenne Bryant, it's just as simple as that. If she really had a degree, she will go bring out her degree, take a picture of it, and just tell people this is
Yes,
my
he does. He bring it a little closer. What you got a
with, with,
PhD in?
for
Yes,
information.
yes.
So
Put some respect on my sister name.
so, this is, it says the date 2020, the 18th of May, doctorate. I'm a PhD, so I have to pick a doctorate. I have to get on Kevin Samuel's clip. I have so much stuff I want to pull out, but I really wanted us to watch this one part of this one video when she talks about I like this
I
video.
can't believe
I have
you
to,
pulled that out because you don't even like to talk about
and
your
that's what I'm
career.
saying, and why,
That's
and I'm
not
bringing that
really
out
how
because
you
it
did
shows
that.
that she really was a PhD. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is for her to get out her diploma, which I'm sure if you got a PhD, you will have your diploma. You saw the comments just eating it up. Some lady said, my dissertation is on my kitchen table. My mother shows it to everybody that comes into the house. Like, there's no way you're going to have a PhD in our community and you're not going to have access to the transcripts or at least a diploma to show evidence that you really have this degree. There's no way. There is no way. And that's why I'm just saying she keeps going these interviews. I was catching up on TG. Allegedly, she went on Tim Ross now. Like, she just needs to stop talking. I think
Right.
she's putting herself in a deeper hole when she keeps coming out and talking nonsense because everything she says, they're just going to keep eating her up. They're gonna keep, just taking it and sitting with it. They're going to hear it.
You're sounding like kind of muffled a little bit. You're sounding a little muffled, but go ahead. You were sounding muffled like a couple seconds ago, but I don't know if it would still be now. I'm about to pull up all the videos and just show them back to back. That's all I'm about to do while you can still, like
As
you
far
said.
as the video I wanted to show, I just wanted to show a video with a part when she talks about I think this is one of the first interviews that really started getting traction. This is fair use, so I can only show, like a minute or so, but let me share my screen and show this first.
Is that on
Y'all,
YouTube?
it's on YouTube. I have it up. Let me go and share.
Is it
Share.
long? It's gonna be a long clip.
No, I'm trying to show a minute of it.
And whose video is this?
This is from Fox local.
Okay.
All right, y'all can see my screen, right?
Success does not erase your trauma. It doesn't erase your trauma. And so a lot of folks get into the position of success with accolades and they're performing well, but that is an overcompensation for the healing that they need to do. We want to be equally yoked. We want to be successful in our performance, but we really want to be very healed, happy, and at peace within our relational space within ourselves, because no relationship will be as healthy as the one you have with yourself. And every relationship outside of you will reflect the one you have with you. So it's important to start with you.
That was a segue into my next question. There was one chapter in particular where you talked about the fairy tale ideology that we attach to romantic relationships.
You're cooking, girl. You're cooking. You're cooking.
And you give a lot of dating, relationship advice and words online, podcasts, and whatnot. Why do you think it's so hard for us to break through that ideology when we're looking to attract or pursue love?
Yeah, because the fairy tale ideology comes from two places, either from what you've seen in the household, and you've seen your parents be married and you've seen the success piece of it, but they maybe hid the arguing or hid the reality of the work that it takes to be married, or you've seen the opposite. You said, I don't want this. So because I don't want what I've seen in my household, I'm going to create a fairy relationship with them. They're being human. They have the right to be who they are. We have one choice or one free will in life is to choose a person, not to change them.
What do you say to people who say that sound advice that you're giving, but you've never been married? You know, you don't have any children.
Yeah.
How can you give relationship advice, family advice, whatnot? What's your response?
This is my favorite question, by the way, my absolutely favorite question. I say this, I don't teach people how to be married. That is a covenant and agreement that you two make together. Only you know how to marry and have your covenant with God. I teach people how to get out of their own way. I teach you how to get past your trauma, past your parental issues, so you don't come and bleed onto that relationship. See, look, happy, healthy people make happy, healthy relationships, and traumatized out people create trauma bonds. And so the goal for me is to say, if I can get you all to be in alignment with yourself, your three-part house is what I talk about in the book, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. If that can align, then guess what? Y'all can align. But if you can't align with yourself, what makes you think you can align or even be at peace with somebody else?
Okay, that's more than enough. All right. So this is one of the first videos, and they asked that question, and that's something that a lot of these relationship people get when they're not married. How could you talk about relationships and love if you're not married? And I get it to an extent, right? Because by their fruits you know them. But at the same time, doesn't mean that people don't understand the theories. They don't understand the principles. They may have just not applied it yet. All right, y'all. Like this video. Okay, it's raining in Victoria. Wow. Victoria where? Okay, I'm just gonna play this one guy kind of trying to defend her, and then no, that's Paul Pierce. Yeah, can y'all hear it now?
Mrs.
Can you hear
Dr.
it?
Cheyenne
Dr.
down.
Cheyenne.
And you have to listen what she said, because I'm like, yeah, maybe she isn't a credentialed doctor like everybody else is who's in this space, but she's made a lane to where she became famous off of being in this lane. And so many people want to do it. And she said, I heard her, she said, I created my own lane. Did you hear that part?
Mm-hmm.
She created her own lane to where, listen, if people are going to listen to my advice and I can change lives and I can help you go from a negative to a positive, regardless of my credentials, do I have to go to school to be qualified? Like, people feel like you got to go to school to be qualified to be at a certain level. And I get it. Like if I feel like if you're changing lives and you're able to say, walk away from Dr. Cheyenne, like, damn, that really helped me out. Just because she put doctor in front of her, I mean, people do that all the time. You think she's the only one? No, she's the most famous one. There's a lot of people that I know that got the doctor. They ain't nowhere near got the credentials for that. So I'm just like, man, she created this lane. Once she's getting bigger and bigger. Now people are like really questioning it, like, oh, where is this? Your license for the people who like, listen, man. She has created something that's like positive. She's influential. And to some degree, she knows what she's talking about. Because these people who go to school that become doctors in intellect and conversation to where you're a psychologist and you can do things, therapist and all these things to get the doctorate. Just because you went by the book, that don't mean she's less qualified. She did it a different way.
But she's saying she does have her doctorate in her stuff.
Yeah, but like people questioning if she don't. Even if she don't, and if she can't prove it, if she changing lives, is what I'm saying. And I go back and I was telling my boy this. I was like, have you ever seen that movie?
Okay, I think we get that. I didn't want to play the full thing, but the comments had me weak. Someone said, I get it. Dr. Dre, Dr. Seuss, Dr. Kevorkian, Dr. Huxtable, Dr. Pepper. And then someone said, Paul must be trying to add to his roster. People's going, Paul, right? Yeah, because, and that's another thing, she's 43 years old. I believe she's from California. I personally didn't know much about her. I remember her, trending a bit when she interviewed Cam Newton, and she was talking about, him having multiple children, different women, kind of creating broken homes, and that had went viral. And it's like, it seems like she has she's a bit reasonable. Like she's trending. What? She came for Cam Newton? No, she wasn't on her show, and they were having a conversation. She basically told him like he's creating broken homes, and that's why she started. She started getting a little, going on a lot of tours and taking a lot of interviews. She's a 43-year-old woman. She's a beautiful woman. I personally thought she was a bit older. I didn't know she was only 43. I don't know why. I just thought like she was like an older woman. I think the problem where it becomes dangerous, why a lot of people are concerned, is because she is representing a field. She's representing something bigger than her. So when I talked about listening to Tanika B's Closet Confessions on Sunday when it premiered, it just came up on YouTube. I was just listening to it. I was getting ready to go out. It's like you saying you're a medical doctor, you're not a doctor. Like, imagine you finding out you're a medical doctor. Tanika B has said, like, if I go in for my Botox, I don't want a nurse practitioner. I don't want this and that. I want a doctor. Like, that's what, if I'm saying I want a doctor, I don't want a therapist. I want a psychiatrist. Like, there is differences. So right now, if you're claiming to be something,
and you're not, you're still misleading people. Even the book she just dropped, the shit is a bestseller, which is not. And people are going to, the publishing company came out and said, people can get refunds because a lot of people are coming. They said they can get they don't, this book, they bought it on the pretense of her being a doctor, but she's not a doctor and they don't trust it. So the publishing company had to come out and start offering people.
I did not know about
So I feel
the publishing
as if she's really playing with fire and she's going to get burned. Like, just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay, let's open it. Why do you think Cheyenne Bryant and many other women, that's what our title is, why Dr. Cheyenne Bryant lied, modern women in obsession with degrees? As someone that you have a doctorate, right? So you're someone that I feel like you fall into the small percentage of women of color.
30%? I did not know it was that low.
Who have that. So why do you think that she could have made it this far and gotten this popular without maybe just her having a bachelor's? Or maybe even just having
maybe had to do more work, right? I think that degree, like I always say, me, my cousin, my sister, we always have this back and forth. I'm not really big on people putting their degrees like online, like outside of LinkedIn, where you're going for a job hiring. I'm not really big on people putting their degrees on social media. I just don't think it's necessary. I just don't, unless you have a social media page and you are practicing in that field. If you are a nurse and you're giving nursing advice, you are an accountant, you're giving accountant advice, you are a medical doctor, you are giving medical advice, you are using that profession, that gives you credibility. You can, I would not, why would you not put that out there? Why would you not market that? That's a part of your brand. But I just don't see it. And me, myself, always go back and I talk about how I see it most often with Black women. When it comes to putting, all these letters, especially y'all nurses, y'all be having 10 letters.
You think nurses are the worst?
Yes, maybe because there's more nurses too, but they be having 10 letters in that bio. 10, y'all be having there's a lot of different certifications in nursing. And I just always feel as if it's not because people have the argument, because someone is not talking about something, doesn't brag about it, doesn't mean they don't value it.
They don't always have this argument.
It's just, I think it's personality. And I think with Black women, because we are such a minority, I think a lot of Black women feel like they have to kind of overcompensate when we do go to school, when we do get these degrees, because a lot of people look down on us. People automatically assume we're not as qualified. You hear Black doctors talk about people ask them, oh, when's the doctor coming? When they walk into the room thinking that they're a nurse. So you understand also too why when it comes specifically to Black women, I literally opened my page and saw a woman graduating and showing her, she's wearing her coat. And like, even now it's graduation season, you're seeing it. Like, of course, being a Black person, of course, most people I'm going to see on my page are Black, but I do think that when Black people, especially Black women, achieve some of these advanced degrees, I want to be careful my wording because, people love to cut stuff up. I think it can get to some people's head. I'm not going to lie. And I can say this because I have it. So if someone that doesn't have it says it, they're going to be a hater. They're going to be this. People are going to come for them. I can say it because I have it. I think we put too much value on our qualifications sometimes instead of who we are as a person. Are we healed? Are we kind? Are we happy? Are we healthy? I think there's a lot of emphasis because there's a lot of pressure. I feel like sometimes on Black women to kind of do everything, to be it all, to be a chef in the kitchen, good in the bed, very educated, make good money. Is like society almost kind of pushes us to try and do it all. And I think that, of course, historically, women in general weren't going to school like that, right? So imagine Black women, if we're talking about women in general. So I think this is it's coming to a time where a lot of Black women, are getting the bag and they're doing a lot of great things. And we have social media now, so everything's in your face. So now, when someone graduates, they post it. Someone does this, they do that. Someone buys a house, they post it. They buy a car, they post it. So where I get concerned is that if you're going to use, I can't tell anybody what to do. Everyone has free will. But if you're going to be she even has a chain, Dr. Bryant. If you're going to be going that hard with that doctorate and not have it, that's serious. That is a serious issue. There's something there. There's that's not something for you to go that hard for something you don't have. That's crazy. Because even that is crazy because people don't understand how serious it is, because people are getting services or going to her and trusting her based on that qualification, based on that credential. She's probably getting bookings based on that. I watch
an influencer talk about how people would probably see him and her and book her because they see that doctorate, and people say that he's jealous, but it's not about being jealous. The reality is that she's selling herself, but she's selling herself away. And if she truly doesn't have it, I don't think she has it. It really. Okay, this is my concern with the conversation we're having, and even some of the points she just brought up. Is it really possible in 2026 that she would have made it this far and gone this long and had all these bookings and all these events? I Googled, why is Cheyenne Bryant popular? It said Cheyenne Bryant appeared on MTV's Basketball Wives to serve as a resident life coach, counselor, and mediator for the cast, brought onto the show to help women navigate their interpersonal conflicts, trauma, and personal relationships. She provided professional mental health perspective and advice. While on her on-screen roles facilitate emotional growth and resolve drama, her background and credentials, specifically her use of the title doctor, generated significant real-world controversy. So my thing is that, is it really, I'm not saying she may have not lied, but are you really telling me in 2026 that she would have gone this far and no one would have verified her PhD?
Let me tell you.
Nobody would have looked into it. No one would have said, okay, let me get a copy. Like, even at work right now, they're making us send copies of, I've never heard of this, but they're saying, oh, because we want to reach magnet. You know how you reach magnet is that, you want more of the people in my profession to have a bachelor's, right? Mm-hmm. So now my managers are emailing all of us and say, you guys have to send me a copy of your degree. This is just work. Okay, so I just find it a little hard to believe that she would have made it this far and no one cross-checked her credentials. And I don't know. That's the part I'm finding difficulty with believing. That's just me personally.
Let me tell you why I think it's easy.
Real hard.
It's easy for her to slip through the cracks because number one, that life coaching thing, that whole area, that whole arena, that whole space is not really regulated, and you don't need schooling. So you see a lot of people are jumping on this whole life coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach. There's a reason why, because you don't need to have a bachelor's. You don't need to have this or that. It's all about taking some course, doing some certifications, and saying you're a life coach.
I want to be a life coach.
They could have booked her as a life coach. It doesn't mean that they booked her as a PhD. It really just depends on how she got in. So I think it's possible. I think it's very possible.
Or maybe is it possible that maybe she has her PhD in something else, or it's not
psychology? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really want to see. I'm really curious as how this story is going to end, and I really do feel for her. Even though if she's lying, that's really bad. But I do feel like how people are coming for her, and how she's really. For you to say that the school came out, for you to say that the book came out, so they're going to refund people, her reputation is done. There's some things you can't really come back from. And I feel like this is one of the things. After this, I don't feel like people are going to take her serious. Even if she was to come in and say, I have the PhD, which most people say that's not true, I don't think people are going to take her serious.
Yeah, Gino, go back to Gino's first thing, because I have this up. Approximately 4.4% of Black women hold a doctorate degree, while 0.5% to 3.5% holding a research-focused PhD. Right, so that's what I think you meant, 0.5 to 3.5 holding a research-based PhD. As of 2025-2026, approximately 30.7% of Black women in the U.S. age 25 and older have earned at least a bachelor's degree. What's the overall, how many Americans have a bachelor's degree?
I would think it's more, only 30.7% of, where did you get, can you give me the source for these statistics,
About 22.2% of adult Americans have a bachelor's degree.
That's it?
At their highest level of education, while around 38% of adults age 25 or older hold a bachelor's degree or higher. Okay, so 22 just have a bachelor's, and 38 have a bachelor's or higher.
You're telling me only about 1/5 of Americans have a bachelor's degree? That sounds really, I don't know, I have to double check. This sounds really low. I feel like way more than 22% of Americans have a bachelor's degree. Gino said
23 to 26% of Black men have a bachelor's degree.
That's low. I would at least think 50% of Americans have a bachelor's degree.
38% have a bachelor's and higher.
Okay.
No, a lot of people still don't go to college. You have to understand, a lot of people go into the workforce, a lot of people go to trade school.
Yeah, Black had the any males. Yeah. So I think I don't know if you want to play that clip. I think it's the first one with Raquel Martin, because she's the one I just saw a thread. People are coming for her April 30th because she's the one that really brought a lot of this out. People were talking about it, but she had made a specific comment on Lamont Hill's podcast, and that's what really pushed this out in the last few weeks. And I believe that was the end of April. And she has been getting dragged. She was the one like showing her degrees in the video. No, she's the one that made. She's the one that. Okay. Dr. Raquel, yeah, Raquel. What are Dr. Raquel Martin's credentials? Is that the first video? She has a video. Credentials? Are you talking about that one? Like when she's putting up all her credentials? What are Raquel Martin's What are Dr. Raquel Martin's credentials? No, I have to go check. Y'all like the video? Because I have Instagram, if I could pull it up, you said she's the one that called her out, I guess. Oh, then the one that she's talking to that man? Yeah. Or Clemont? Yeah, Lamont. I want to. So the one that she was talking to the dude, right? I don't see it in my sent. Oh yeah, the last one, yeah, with Mark Lamont, yeah. Mark Lamont. Yeah, right under what are her credentials, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me put.
Has to be some accountability for us as a people and the individuals who are booking these individuals, because you have to understand how much individuals listen to those platforms. So the fact that she was able to be on the show with Torre, who is like one of the phenoms when it comes to journalism. And I know the Joe Budden podcast is still entertainment. You're on there and you provide a lot of credibility to that show, which is, one of the many reasons why it's very incredibly helpful. But just talking about having individuals on those stages, she literally stated on the Torre show, like, you should be hitting your children. That goes against every single when it comes to licensed mental health professionals. But it doesn't really matter because there's no one who can say anything about her because she's not in our field. So I don't consider Dr. Bryant to be in the psychology field. I consider her to be in the coaching field.
She just happens to have a degree in psychology.
She has a degree in psychology, but I have 4 degrees in psychology. She literally stated on a video that you should be hitting with Torre on their platform. And there's also
I like his.
Everybody blaming Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I don't know her name. Everybody blaming her, but nobody's asking the bigger questions. Why do these platforms keep choosing internet personalities over highly accomplished licensed psychologists and academically respected Ph.D. holders? The blacks are picking the wrong blacks. That says more about the audience and media culture than it does about her. Social media doesn't reward the most qualified person. It rewards people who communicate the simplest or who is emotionally entertaining, who goes viral, who sounds relatable, and who people feel connected to, even if it connects to their trauma. A lot of actual scholars, researchers, and licensed psychologists are buried in university journals, conferences, and classrooms while influencers dominate the algorithm. So if platforms keep calling her instead of credentialed experts, maybe the issue isn't just her. Maybe the public no longer values expertise unless it comes packaged as entertainment. We created a culture where charisma often outranks credentials. Whether she is right or wrong, whether she is lying or not, half of you blacks on here lied on your resume. And the great majority of y'all pastors on here are being called Dr. Whatever. And y'all only did a 6 weeks doctoral program from Timu. Now, as far as me, that is on his last semester of his Ph.D. in educational leadership and counseling at Prairie View A&M University, I'll be damned if I can't find my transcript nowhere, all because the university decided to shut down. This is coming from somebody who has a bachelor's in communications and a minor in music. This is also coming from somebody who has a master's degree in community development. This is coming from somebody who just completed 3 years of coursework in a Ph.D. program at a HBCU. This is also coming from somebody who just switched their dissertation topic and now has to do a 145-page dissertation proposal over. and turn it in by June 16th. So I'll say this. Yes, we cannot find her transcript. Yes, we cannot find her dissertation. Hell, I don't even know if we can find her graduation pictures. But at the end of the day, we never really question why platforms never really use the right people for the right situations or the right topics. Like if those platforms really cared about the credentials those individuals have, they have enough money and resources to go look up that information themselves, especially before putting that person on their show. But again, we all forget social media is not a real place. Now, as far as me, I'm not going to kick her while she down. And a lot of y'all idiots probably going to judge me for that, but I don't give a damn. But it all comes back to everybody looking for a like and a view. Just food for thought. Be delivered.
Yeah. I really liked his video the most. Dangerfield, he's the one, he live in Houston, so I can't believe he just turned 33. He's the one that made a video. 33, he's like a grown man. He made the video about the Africa. He's so funny. He's hilarious. Dangerfield Media. I can't wait till I bump into him in Houston because I know I'm gonna see him. He's hilarious. But he said the truth. Like Gino's saying, how her audience is gonna grow. Gino's saying Cheyenne Bryant's audience will grow because women still like her. Women find her attractive and lust for her. She'll always be around. And men, don't say women. They said there's rumors about her sexuality. There's rumors that she, you know what I mean? Like, so people, as much as people don't like to accept, sex sells. And when people say sex is not about sleeping with someone always, it's about just being attractive, having the look, playing the part, you know, like it is what it is. And I do think that two things can be true at once. She's not credentialed, but I do think there is some jealousy from other people in her field, being that they have the credentials and they don't have her following. She has 4 million subscribers on Instagram. Oh, okay. So that's the point we're going to go to. I think the problem with social media now, like he mentioned, Dangerfield Media, is that nowadays I know what to come out and say that will go viral. Like I know what to wear, I know what to do, but like that's not what I want my image to be. Right? Like that's not who I am. I wouldn't feel true to myself. But it seems like when you want to like be authentic and be like real and have intellectual conversations, it just doesn't sell as quick, right? Like it just doesn't move the needle as much because people want the drama. People want the spice. People want like everything nowadays is like a reality show. People want the gossip. They want the drama. They want the 4.4 million followers, and it was just 4 million last time I checked. So Gino's right; she's growing. She got 400,000 followers within days because of this. You know, so like you said, you come in and say the truth and say it, but people. I know the video I'll put on here, 100 people will be here. Is it also the delivery? Like he said, you have to be charismatic. Like that's even with pastors. We learn to talk about pastors that are doing well now. Those people that are being serious, you have to. That's why, and also too is looks. She's an attractive woman. So that's also a factor that has helped her throughout her life. And there was some controversy, her saying people are jealous and unattractive, when a lot of people pushing back are darker skinned, you know, natural hair women. So there's also a conversation like, are you saying that they're not attractive because they're not mixed looking like you? You know what I mean? Let's be real. Like we know we live in America, especially, you know, when it comes to Black people, there is a colorism. There are all those factors, you know? So I just went on her page. She has stories are lit. She's not backing down. Well, has like 10 stories. She's out there going out and about, and she's not removing that doctor. So it comes to a point where I understand when people say sometimes you don't have to prove stuff, because I do agree. You don't have to answer everyone. You don't owe everyone an explanation. When it comes to something like this has become so viral and it's something regarding your career that you're charging people for, I don't know. I think if you with just showing your degree, if you really have it, just show it. Something's not right. Something's missing. She might have a degree in something else, maybe, and that's why I'm not even considering if she even has a bachelor's, because she on her profile at the University of Phoenix, she had list all these universities, but even on the wall, I remember seeing a video talk about how people have their degree hung up on the wall. She has a bunch of certifications up on her backdrop, but she doesn't have any degrees up. I thought she went to HBCU. No? Let me see. Went to HBCU. I don't know, the poor lady. But I never, honestly, personally, I didn't know who she was until all this started happening. I feel like maybe I've heard of her because I've never watched Basketball Wives. Like I don't watch the series. Even though I know about some of the people, her name sounded familiar, but I didn't know who she was. I actually first thought, remember, because I sent her a message on the weekend and unsent it, because I thought she was Pastor Jamal Bryant's wife. Yeah, because someone was talking about her dressing and how she be out there and how she's like saying God, but so I at first I was like, oh, I think this is Pastor Jamal's Bryant wife, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh no, her name is Kay something. We talked about her. I was like, oh no, that's somebody different. Then I was like, yeah, I don't think I ever heard of her. But again, I'm not in the reality TV space. Like I was talking about Cover today, I still got to catch up on 90 Day because I want to watch my brother on it with his woman. Like I'm just not into reality TV, so it's not a big deal that I've never heard of her, to be honest. I haven't heard about a lot of stuff. So
I'm on her website. Let me share. This is interesting, some of the language I see. So Dr. Bryant attended Cal State University of Northridge at the age of 17. While there, she obtained a double degree in psychology and Pan-African studies. During her first 2 years, she was undecided as to what field she should choose, and she ended up choosing psychology. She didn't realize what had triggered her interest until she entered the master's program at University of Phoenix. She was about halfway through the master's program and boom, it hit her. She had a lot of healing within herself that needed to be done. Her desire for self-fulfillment, healing, peace, balance drew her to psychology. Being the overachiever that she is, Dr. Bryant decided to pursue her doctorate degree in counseling psychology from Argosy University. So it doesn't say necessarily that she graduated. I think this language is very important because reading this, it talks about attending. Nothing here says she graduated. While there, she obtained a double degree, okay, maybe undergrad, but it says she entered the master's program at University of Phoenix. Being the overachiever, she decided to pursue her doctorate degree in counseling. So I think she started and never finished. That's what I'm personally thinking, that she started and never finished. Maybe by the time she wants to finish, the school closed down. Then she has to transfer, and she was already getting big. You know how when you start making money, it's hard. Let's be real. She just left it alone, but she's like, I'm gonna just use that doctorate because I have some of it on a transcript. She never did a dissertation. Maybe something along those lines. But even seeing how it's worded on her actual website, this is a very smart woman. She's not lying, but she's not being straightforward.
But technically, she did pursue. She did
pursue a doctorate degree in doctor of psychology. She was in a master's program, University of Phoenix, another predatory school. She pursued, she attended, but only thing, it doesn't say she graduated. Nothing says she graduated. So she's a smart woman. I'm telling you, she's a hustler. She allegedly grew up in the streets, grew up poor, socioeconomic class. So this is a smart lady. Are they honorary? I think I saw something about him just graduating again. Shaquille O'Neal holds an impressive total of 5 university degrees. It's she's a Black woman, right? So I'm never gonna, like Dangerfield said, I don't believe in kicking people while they're down. Yeah, she did get an honorary degree. I sent you the video, and then she posted on her page her honorary degree when she was in. So I've watched some video just saying, she could just say I just had an honorary one, and just say I'm using the title as an honorary one, and it would just end everything. Like I just have an honorary one. But I think that her fear, she's afraid of being canceled. Because let's be honest, because her not having that degree takes away a lot of her credibility. It doesn't mean she'll go away. Like Gino said, she probably will still get bookings. People they like her. And that's what people understand in life. Once people like you, everything else becomes easy. Like all this trying to get all these degrees and doing everything, you just need to be liked. And that's why your energy and your personality and your looks is very important. Because when someone really likes you, they will go above and beyond to open doors for you. If people just like you.
How do you get people to like you?
There's a book, How to Win Friends and Gain Influence, is on my list. It's literally, I think it's part of the charisma, the personality, being
looks, number one. Looks.
Yeah. People like pretty people like attractive people like social people like bubbly people. Like you need to have a certain type of personality.
People like funny people.
Yeah, she is, she's relatable. A lot of women, came up from the mud like her, that went to school, got the degrees. So her fan base can really, really relate to her, But I think for Argosy to come out and say that they still have transcripts available on Threads, I just feel as if
I did not see that. This is, oh my God, this is more than I even thought. Like it's been trending everywhere, like trending. The amount of videos, I was like, I can't watch all these videos. It was just overwhelming. I just watched a couple and they were basically saying the same thing, to be honest. And people said Paul Pierce is offending a scammer, but to be honest, I guess people really, this is really a definition of fake it till you make it. If she really doesn't have the PhD that she's going around saying that she has, I guess.
Let me read what's said in threads. Can we dead this conversation about this later right now? Cheyenne Bryant, dissertation chair, said that she was dismissed from her program at Argosy pre-closure for plagiarism on her proposal, chapters 1 through 3. She didn't even complete her dissertations, chapters 1 through 5. Definitely didn't defend, and certainly wasn't awarded her doctoral degree. I really just read the results of her Turnitin scores and the chair's dismissal recommendation. I'm gonna say allegedly, so I don't get sued. So yeah, we'll say it too. Allegedly, people are making AI videos. We graduated together, showing her and them in a cap and gown with the Argosy. Social media is crazy. Social media is crazy.
Allegedly, there's information confirming that she got dismissed from the program.
Mm-hmm.
So she pursued, but allegedly she didn't graduate.
Yep. Her chocolate, because unlike her, her dissertation is not registered with the Library of Congress. Yeah.
So okay, closing remarks, and anyone can join if they want to. I forgot to add the this is the referral link. That's not the link I want to. Invitation link. So is it wrong for someone to want to get a PhD just to get it, like for the respect that comes with it? Do you think that's the wrong reason to want to get a PhD?
It depends on the cost, I would say. I think that's a big factor. It depends on, time.
No, or do you think if someone came to you and said, okay, right now, I'm not happy where I am right now. I'm thinking about going back to school, but I just want a doctor in front of my name. Like, look at what look how far it got Cheyenne Bryant, right? Look how big would she have gotten that far if she didn't have that? Like, no, I want those 2 letters in front of my name to feel more accomplished about myself and for people to take me more serious. Is that a bad reason for wanting to get a PhD?
It depends on the industry you're in. I think if it can help you make money, that's my biggest thing. A lot of things people do for personal satisfaction. There's things I want to do for personal satisfaction. It's not necessarily to make money, but I don't know. I just don't. I'm big on the why. Your why has to always make sense to me. And of course, we're all different. We can never all be the same. But I feel like if you do things and you don't have a strong why, I don't know if I can say it really will be worth it. But for some people, it is worth it. They just want to have the degree. I've heard people say, I just want to go get a doctorate in anything and just have a doctorate. Excuse me. They just want to have a doctorate. That's important to them. But, I don't know. And like I said, because especially her being a Black woman, I remember someone saying like she's like the reverse Rachel Dolezal. Remember the lady that was pretending to be Black and wearing braids, went to Howard, and they found out she was a white woman. It's almost like she's representing her people, whether she wants to accept it or not, So it's like, imagine what the other communities are saying or how this looks, or it's almost like a slap in the face if this is true, because it's all alleged. Like we're like
who slapping the face?
Black people. It's like you guys are that dumb. Like you guys believe anything, and I think that's kind of the society that we're in. Like people don't really question things. People just go with the mass, whatever.
It's not the society we live in. That's the reason why I'm shocked. That's why I mentioned earlier, prefaced earlier, that I find it hard to believe they should have gotten this far, and nobody looked it up. Nobody I don't know. I'm just having a heart. That's the reason why I think I don't know. I think it's possible she might really have. Because to me, I just don't see in 2020, people look up everything. In our society, people look up everything. People are on it.
But there's a video I had on my watch later from Cam Newton a year ago saying she's not a real doctor from a year ago. So this is something that people have been kind of speaking about. It just until I believe Dr. Raquel Martin made a comment about it in that podcast, and it started getting recently viral. Okay, Gino, have you read it? How to make friends and win influence, something along those lines. Yeah, I've heard of that. If you are 40 years old, body tea, and your face is glammed up or beat to the gods, the sisterhood will make you rich. I thought she was in Atlanta, but I mean, you said she was on a show in Atlanta. That makes sense. I didn't know she was based in Cali because she giving me Atlanta vibes. So I thought she was like based
in Atlanta.
Was she in Atlanta?
I don't know where they have basketball wives everywhere, but this part of it said, Cast members like Brooke Bailey heavily scrutinized her educational and licensing background, questioning the legitimacy of her doctoral degree from the now defunct Argos University and her credentials as a practicing therapist. So I guess, like you said, this is something that's been like people like it just. I'm just wondering, like, why did it come up so much like this now? Like, why all of a sudden people? I don't know. It just seemed random to me. I guess people said she was going around on all these podcasts for her book, like promoting whatever. So I guess, maybe that's why. But
yeah, y'all, it's not easy. As a Black woman, and I understand there's some. Everyone has issues. It's not saying just Black women, but we have some nuanced challenges when it comes to the space. It's different. So we want to give her some grace, and we want to just pray that she wouldn't lie about this. But at the same time, people would do anything when it comes, like I said, because she may not be fully lying because she did go to the school. She just didn't complete her dissertation, right? That's what I'm saying. I could see her coming out and just saying, yeah, I'm still a doctor, because she basically did it. She just didn't finish it. She started, but it's not like she didn't go to school and she got a doctorate. That to me would be like, it's still not appropriate, but that would be like the crazy work. Like, you just went and put doctor, you didn't get a PhD. But she did the training. She just didn't do her dissertation, allegedly. So it makes sense. And like you said, who is really going to go out there and be verifying that? She's not a physician, she's not about to do surgery. She's not like, those people have to get credentialing for months. Like, it's a very rigorous process. But if you're saying going under the umbrella of life coaching, I think it's very easy for her to go out, go about and be unnoticed and just be going off of that and just using that title to help build her brand, because we're in a day and age where brand is very important.
Number one.
How you brand yourself, how you market yourself. So it's marketing.
Yeah, but our next live, we got to talk about this, the juicy stuff that's been happening. I guess more of like this isn't as spirit, but like relationship. I feel like we should talk about the Frank Edo stuff.
I haven't gotten it yet, to be honest. Yeah, but I've heard the science of getting richer in the year. Okay. All right, so let us know. Is Dr. or Cheyenne Bryant, is she lying? Is she really a doctor? Is she lying? If so, why would you lie? People in the comments, let's finish it up. If you believe she's lying, why? Why do you think she would take this risk in 2026 with all the media, all the resources, all the AI? Why would she lie? She's the Bob Lazar of modern women.
Who's Bob Lazar?
Yeah, I've heard of that name.
Hi, little Ned.
She is a liar. She definitely lied. She wanted social media clout. And if you believe, how could she get herself out of it if she's lying, allegedly?
I think she should just come out with her chest and be like, listen, y'all, I know a lot's been going on. I did start. I just didn't finish. Okay, like, just really at this point, just be honest. If that's the case, allegedly, we don't know. I don't know what happened, but I think at this point, she should just clear the air and just really come out and just be honest. And I think people will get over it, or after a while, people get over it and move on with life. But I feel like because she's refusing to show her degree and like back up her credentials, she's just making people gonna be on it longer than they need to. She's making it hotter than what it needs to be. But if she just came out and apologized and just, gave the backstory and talked about what really happened, I truly believe that she will get further than what she's doing now. She's just making people unnecessarily curious about her credentials. That's my opinion.
Does he hear the boo texting you? No, I'm trying to find something.
If she takes accountability and apologizes, I owe you both $2 million. I know she'll never take accountability. I don't know. I think it's just a lot, and just because she's posting on her stories, don't let that fool you. Don't mean that she's not going through a lot.
She's going through it. Trust me. Even for her to come out on be cursing and acting up, she's getting a lot of backlash. It's not easy. Trust me. With that type of following and with that type of media presence, she has to act like she's okay. But this has been happening for the last few weeks.
Yeah, I definitely think she's going through it, because this is just your image. And at this point nowadays, your image means so much, and especially in the social media space. And yeah, you might say she's getting more attention or more people following her, but is it for the right reason? Are people more, did she get those 400,000 extra followers because they really truly care about her and want to know about her work, or they just nosy and want to know the tea?
Yeah.
And that's why they're following her. So not all, let's be clear, not all publicity is good publicity. Not all noise is good noise. So like, just because she's trending and just because she's getting more followers, that's not necessarily going to be beneficial to her brand long term.
Yep.
Not people are just being nosy and want to know the tea. So let's not get that confused. Let's not get into
loyal supporters. Her book, she said, is best selling. Is not. People are not buying. People are asking for refunds. So trust me, it's it's hard, but just always try and stand by the truth. It's not always easy, trust me. We know we're in a clout chasing society. People want to go viral. Everyone wants to go viral. People are doing the craziest things to go viral.
Buying followers. You heard about how Instagram, remember I sent that post how like people woke up and I was reading the comments, like, oh, I was happy. All these dead followers anyway. Like people, Instagram woke up and like cleared the bots. Like they're trying to get rid of bots. So like,
they message me, do you want to buy followers? They've been messaging me for years. All these crazy sites, 10,000 followers.
Some people buy it, but on the other hand, sometimes it's just fake people following you. So that's the thing. So Instagram cleared those accounts. So people, let's say there were people that are saying that like, oh, I have 400,000 subscribers. I woke up to 370. Like they've lost that many followers because they were fake people. They're not real human beings with real Instagram accounts. So a lot of them are like, I'm happy. They was messing with my engagement anyway. I'm happy. They weren't really liking my stuff anyway.
Versus I saw that engagement clip about just unfollowing everyone and starting from the beginning to build up your page, like removing everyone. If there's people that don't engage with you, they mess up your analytics. But y'all, thanks for hanging out with us today. Let us know what you want us to talk about next week. We will try and be more consistent, weekly, if not bi-weekly topics as they come fresh, try and be relevant so we can have a lot of people come on. And, we need the lives to do well. Lives don't really, bring a lot of money to our channel. They do bring traction. That's why we always ask to support us any way you can if you want to keep seeing us, because reality, we want to prioritize where we're getting paid. So if you, oh, hi, Junior. Hi. Thanks for joining. If you want to see us more consistent, make sure to like at the minimum and share these videos. And super chat, no amount is too small, just a token of appreciation to let us know that you appreciate the work that we do. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, if you get to see this video, because you'll be shocked, people watch a lot of stuff. And you think a lot of these people don't watch anything. People have people watching on their behalf, and they have people sending stuff to them. If I was giving Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, I'm going to still keep her that doctor out of respect because she's still keeping it on her bios and referring to herself as it. I would just tell her to come out with the truth. And people will love you more if you just come out with the truth. Say you started dissertation, something happened, it was a hard part of your life, you had to leave. We've all had stories. I had my own story undergrad. Everyone has their own, everyone has been through something. School is not easy, life happens. Say you took a break, you got famous, you had to take care of your family, so to make money, you don't have time to go back to school. By the time you went back to the school, RGC had closed 2019. I even have a script I can help her with. Just go get your PR person, put out a statement, talk about, even just enroll. Right now, while all this is happening, just enroll in the PhD program. And then you could be like, you've been working on it to complete it in the background, but due to credibility, you just been using the title because you feel as if you did almost 95% of the work. You just 90%, you just need the dissertation. And the alleged plagiarism claim was faulty and it was discrimination. And just mix some things together and make a statement. There's no point in fighting and going online and cursing people out and calling people haters and jealous. It just is not good for your brand. Either just be quiet and don't say anything or come out and say the truth. That's my personal opinion. That is my personal opinion. Supreme B said, I have my college transcripts on my Google Drive. Okay. It doesn't have to be lies, but talk about the stuff that attracts you a man and what was about the guy who you shot your shot with and approached because you had it bad for him. I went to the Tall Tour on Saturday. I could have done a live on that. Oh, he said Houston was the tallest, biggest city. I was supposed to repost it. He put on his story Sunday that Houston is the biggest city thus far. So the next one is Dallas, May 30th. And a lot of people didn't know about it. A lot of people commented on like, oh my God, I didn't know. And I just feel like
I don't know. Like, is it just the promotion? What could have been better? Is it that, the Houston Chronicle covered it at a point? I reposted some of their stuff. So I just think I always said about Houston, like, there has to be a better way to like get more information out.
Y'all
To
don't
people
have
that
like
don't
a page. You know how like we have like the Axio Charlotte page. Do y'all have
we
like a popular
do.
page that talks about the events? Because that's how I find out a lot about the things happening in Charlotte, North Carolina, is really from Axios. And I'm subscribed to their newsletter. I get daily emails every day. So when I'm good, I don't read them every day, but when I'm good, literally, I'll skim through. It's 3 minutes. Okay, this is what's happening. Bank of America Stadium. This person's coming. This person's coming. This football game. This soccer game. Like, that's how I know. And also living uptown, like, I'll just see traffic. Okay, what's going on uptown? Let me go read my email I didn't read today, because I'm like, something has to be happening. Why is there traffic at 6 p.m. to get to my apartment? So that's how I know. You guys definitely in Houston, you can't tell me that you all don't have some type of daily newsletter or a popular Houston page, because if we have it in Charlotte, y'all have to have it in Houston. You haven't seen the TV show Suits? No, I've heard a lot of good things about it. The whole show is about a guy who lied about having a law degree. Are you serious? I thought about law school. What y'all think? I told my ex I had a 3.8 GPA in college and high school. She didn't believe me until I had to get a copy of my transcripts for a job. She said, "Oh, you're smarter than me." Gino, you got stories for days. So that's the topics. It doesn't have to be lives. Like, what you want? We would just sit down and talk about videos about men. That sounds kind of boring. I just read that. All right, y'all. So if you don't have anything else to go further, we're gonna let you all go. Have a beautiful Tuesday evening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know or anyone who'll be interested. And we will see you all by the grace of God, God willing, next week. Wait, hold on, Ngozi. So I want to ask you real quick. Do y'all think Sunday is better than Tuesday? Because we're between those 2 days. Do you think Sunday's better? 13 people on here. What they gonna say? It's up to what we can do, what we think is sustainable. Any day of the week. Saturday. I actually think Saturdays would be good. No, Saturdays are messy. Really feel like people are out running around. Yeah, it's a hard. What time? Saturday at 12. Saturday at 2. In the morning. Either Sunday or a day during the week. Sunday or Monday. I don't. Not good. I'm always recovering from the weekend. All right then. We'll see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a good night. He said Tuesday. He said Sunday.